He launches the careers of the S-side beauties. Careful of the blue eyes, there's no lifeguard on duty. Your bucket full of passion, your sense of fashion. Why aren't you on GQ? With perfect hair and a voice that speaks to my soul. A sure stroke, a slight fade, oh, it's in the hole. Give me all TP, fill my heart with glee. Into the man cave you invite us, even though you have conjunctivitis. I watch all DP, even Sports Jeopardy. Give me great host for 1,000. Send these guys back where you found them. Give me all DP. The box score starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
All right, hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They, of course, are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. We are down one Danette. Todd Fritz is off somewhere for a bar mitzvah rehearsal. I'm sure taking care of centerpieces and Chiavari chairs that are sturdy enough to pick up his big ants. All right, that doesn't mean that the guest list had to suffer. You guys had Senator John McCain on today. Now, Paulie, he seems like an unlikely friend of the show. Is there anyone more unlikely a friend of the show than the senator?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. You know, from what I remember, his first appearance was in 04, summer of 04. Fall of 04. We did a celebrity football pick contest, and he was one of our first people. And he came on, and he went like 5-1. And we had we had Smoltz on and Reggie Miller, and we actually had James Caan was one of the people. And the senator was so happy to talk about sports and not talk about politics. I think for a guy like him, it's like a break from the grind of his job, which is almost all politics. And we've had him on whenever we want, basically. I mean, we call, he says yes, so it's really nice.
Well, McCain jumped on the line today and hopped at the opportunity to duke it out with a Danette.
I hear that some guys on your staff are not giving the Cardinals the credit that they deserve, so you guys are dummies. And so, in the words of Donald Trump, you're dummies.
Well, we're quoting Donald Trump right out of the gate here.
Okay, who has Arizona beaten? I mean, the Bears, the Saints. Are these wins really blowing you away?
Grudgingly, I think you made a point, but you're still a dummy.
I voted for the other guy. No, I
Wow.
That's not even true.
That just proves it.
That was a wild moment. This kind of reminded me felt like maybe, I don't know, Jake Tapper or one of the Fox guys should have been moderating that debate. Yeah. Kind of felt like it was on the big stage going head to head with one of the big political
30 million people watching that debate, right?
Yeah. I understand what Chris Christie and all those people are going through. There's a lot of pressure when you have to think on your feet, but I think I carried myself
Scott
well.
Walker, a little sweaty upper lip there.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll bring back Crossfire and maybe ask you two to do something?
Probably.
Crossfire.
Well, I mean, one thing is the Bears. I was going to ask him about the national debt, get into some other things, but we just didn't have time.
Let me ask you something else. You've been called, a lot of people think you don't know what you're doing, but rarely have you been called out with a person of that gravitas. Is that exciting?
Yes, that was great. And usually, people don't call me dummy. They call me much worse things.
Right.
Like nobody calls me dumb. That was cool.
This guy finished second for the White House of the whole planet. He finished second.
I think it was like 5 percentage points away.
And let's just say this is his last appearance on his show. He wrap up his career with us calling you dummy. That's pretty cool, I think.
It's very cool. Any interaction is a good. And he said, although begrudgingly, he agreed with one of my points.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Partisan, very partisan about it.
Basically, I'm a policymaker now, Brock.
Yeah, you have the ear of the king, as they say. Well, McCain wasn't the only guest to go toe-to-toe with the Milford Brigade. Jordan Spieth called in today, and now the stakes have been set.
I have the same golf simulator you do in my man cave. I've been killing it, the par 3 7th at Pebble Beach. Yeah, I've been killing
You
it.
picked the easiest shot on the simulator.
Well, I'll go toe-to-toe with you, the par 3 7th. How about if you win, I'll let you host this show. If I win, I get to caddy for you in an event.
Wow, that's like taking somebody's job away from them.
No, he gets to keep all the money. Mike gets to keep all the money. I'm going to make you better, but I'm going to let him have all the money.
Yeah, that would make me somewhat nervous. I also wouldn't mind seeing you on the bag. I mean, that'd be pretty funny.
Dude's out of his mind. Absolutely out of his mind, and I get so much just tremendous enjoyment out of it. And I'm going to make you better. I like that Jordan was able to break down the golf simulator, that he knew that's the easiest hole on the golf simulator, because he's probably gone through the par 3s too and tried to see with his buddies how many holes in one he can get. I mean, that's really the main draw of the simulator.
It really is easy too, because there's a giant drop off on the tee. Like all you have to do is get a little air under it, and it's going right to the hole.
You don't have to hit the ball very hard.
Yeah.
It's real.
Another great thing about Jordan is that he watches this show, and one of the reasons I know so is that the PGA people said he told them he wanted to do this interview first because he has like 20 more interviews to do today, which is really cool. But as I was setting him up, I was kind of filling him in what was going on today, and I mentioned Fritzy and the bar mitzvah, and he goes, "Oh, I know."
Now, is that because he watches the show or because he was asked to do a video for the bar mitzvah?
That's a great question, and I'm going to follow up on that, but it's probably 50-50.
That'll all be revealed Monday.
No, I did my piece already.
Yeah. Hey, McLovin, how do you think Dan would be as a caddy?
He'd be funny. I think he'd be like an incredibly entertaining, like Bones. I think like if Dan's life had gone in a different direction, he'd been a caddy. I think he'd be as famous as he is now.
Yeah.
I can see him just like up at the bar after the tournament, and just having funny things
He would
to
make
say.
for a fun caddy, yeah.
He'd be one of the great caddies of all time.
I'd love to see that. Maybe he'd get in a fight with Steve Williams. Who knows? All right, coming up, it's playoff time. We're getting ready. Hey, you going to sign an ace to your staff? I got it. It's the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Climb a hill, haul a trailer, tow a boat, and paints the corners beautifully. And does it fuel efficiently, too. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. We are back here on the box score. Guys, the baseball regular season ends on Sunday. McLovin, what team should we look for to make a surprise run this season?
Well, the question, a surprise run this season, it's a little too late for that. I would watch out for the Astros, but actually,
Who's the biggest underdog? Who do you think, without looking at the lineups, who feels like the biggest underdog?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I pick the Giants every year. Now, this year, I don't like their chances.
They're not in the playoffs, which really hurts.
So, I've actually been studying this a little per Dan's request. I am going to say watch out for the New York Yankees.
Oh, yeah, they sneak it up on people?
I don't know.
Nice.
Excellent analysis. All right, well, David Price of the playoff-bound Blue Jays called in today and talked about his initial reaction when getting traded earlier this season.
Well, I couldn't believe that I got traded to a better offense. You know, I mean, at the time, Toronto was only one game ahead of Detroit in the standings, so it was a little strange, I guess, you know, to be traded to a team that was so close to you in the standings and kind of, you know, competing for the same playoff spot. But it's been a lot of fun. I mean, the guys in the clubhouse, we have a very good team, but I mean, just being in that clubhouse and in that locker room, it's a lot of fun. It's a good group of guys.
You know, I experienced some Fritzy panic with this interview. I called David Price's hotel room. Fritz is very thorough. No matter what I say about him, he is a thorough guy. And so when he provided me the numbers for all the guests today, he had at least 2 backup numbers for every single guest. So I had David Price's hotel room number. Then I had his name, his alias at the hotel, because he's not under David Price.
His alias is great, by the way.
Yes,
it's
very
fantastic. That's all I heard out of the Paul. I heard him dialing the phone, and then I heard like, yes, can I have
Smoochy?
Yeah, Slappy Jablinski, please. Room for Slappy Jablinski.
And I say SLAPP, and that's not it, but I had to. So then I have the next step is to go to the PR person before I call the cell phone, and then last up is to call the cell phone, which they don't like to give out of the actual player. Hotel room, nothing. PR person, no answer. third, I called David's, and I got 3 rings in. I'm like, ugh. And then I got the pickup, and I know the Fritzie's emotion where I was like, yes. And when I go, David, it's Paul. And he goes, hey, man. And there is a sense of relief when you get that person on the line. So I understand what Fritzie goes through.
All right, well, Sloopy or Slappy or Price, whatever his name is, he was in the car with his girlfriend today, and Dan got her on the phone for some insider info.
Hi, Tiffany. Tell me something I don't know about David Price.
I know that people have heard he names everything, but he literally does name everything. Everything has a name. Like, he'll name his boogers. I remember we were only dating like a month, and I walk in, and he goes, hey, Reggie. And I was like, Reggie? He was like, yeah, that red pimple in the middle of your forehead. I almost broke up with him, but... So, I mean, he literally names everything.
So great. You have no idea what's going to happen. First of all right, I was really surprised at how easily David Price was. He was just like, hey, can you put your girl on? Yeah, sure, hold on. I expected at least somewhat of a fight. Or like, no way, dude, hell no, I'm not doing that. And then she had that ready to go. It was hysterical.
Yeah, and when you pass a phone to someone like that, she's not, I would guess, not used to doing national sports radio interviews. She was right on story, clear speaking, probably in a car driving down the highway, and she hit a home run, pardon the pun. But she was really great on air, and it made that interview go from, again, we talked about the other day, David Price talks some baseball, but memorable.
Yeah.
A year from now, I'll remember the Reggie story with David Price and his girlfriend.
Yeah, she was an awesome interview. Paulie, but if you could have any athlete's significant other in studio for an interview, who would it be?
Wow, that's a great question.
I can fill the Fritzie role of that.
Yeah, I would say from... Oh, man. This is a tough one. I would say Peyton Manning's wife. What's Peyton like off the field? Because I don't even know Peyton Manning's wife's name. I don't know what she looks like. He's one of those most famous athletes in our country. Or maybe Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s girlfriend, about to be wife. But I would go Peyton Manning's wife because I know nothing about her, not even her name.
I'm going to fill in for Fritzie today, and I'm going to say Mrs. Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, well, I mean...
But you're not going to say Giselle?
Janet?
Are you going shallow? Because I didn't know we were going shallow pool.
Oh, my goodness gracious. She is just spectacular.
Adriana Lima was married to an NBA player, right?
That's true. Marco Jaric.
We could go Giselle, too. We could.
Yeah, Giselle.
We could go Giselle.
But honestly, do we want Giselle in here?
Not really. I'd rather have Janet Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Gretzky.
Yeah.
She's remarkable.
But Janet Jones in Flamingo Kid is as white hot as it gets. That's just a sidebar.
Yeah, no argument there. That was actually in theaters when I was a projectionist. All right, maybe we get Reggie.
Fritzie.
Yeah, maybe we get Reggie in studio. All right, stick around. It is David Price's favorite game ever. It's the baseball name game. We are back here on the box score. Guys, we are obviously obsessed with sports names around here. That's why you have games like Cardinal or Cardinal, Swedish hockey player, or IKEA furniture. But today I think we've topped them all. This one we shall call Inappropriate Name Game. Is it a baseball player or is it Editor Vince's junior high school coach? Now this guy is legendary, has some wacky high school coach names back home. So it is every man for himself. I will give you a name. You tell me whether they played baseball professionally or whether they helped our man in the back become a man. That's young Vince. All right, first one is for you, Paulie. The athletic hero in question is Harry Balls, player or coach?
Man, this seems like a trick question. Harold Balls, because there was a Harry Balls with the Cardinals.
It's got to be the same guy.
Because of the Z. Oh, man, this is tough. Because of the Z, I'm going to say it's a coach from Vince, the editor.
Is it a coach from Vince's youth?
Pretty good. Pretty good. There you go.
Well played, sir. Well played. You were correct.
What is that?
Seton is up next.
If you would have gone Balls with an S, I'm sorry, if you would have gone Balls with an S, I would have said baseball player, because Harry Balls was a popular name in the 1800s before it kind of got shamed, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. And
Thank you.
When did we fake double Dutch?
No, Seton is up next. The athletic hero in question is Stubby Clapp, a player or coach? Stubby Clapp.
Stubby Clapp is definitely a real baseball player.
Cardinal.
Yeah. Is he a Cardinal baseball player?
Pretty good. Pretty good. There you go.
Yeah, and with the sidebar from Paulie, yeah, he did play for the Cardinals in 2001. And the double Dutch is solid as ever. McLovin, the athletic hero in question is Pickles Dillhofer, player or coach? Pickles Dillhofer.
You don't want a youth coach named Pickles. I would never.
You don't want any of those names for a youth coach.
Yeah,
and they
Harry-
were youth coaches.
Yeah, Harry Balls.
I'm going to say youth coach.
Pickles.
Come on, Vince.
Was he a junior high coach for young Vince?
Steve, Reich, you are gone.
I'm sorry, he was a baseball player, played for several teams in the 1920s. Back to you, Paulie. The athletic hero in question is John Hiscock. John Hiscock, player or coach?
Oh, I love Hiscock. You're a big fan of Hiscock, aren't you, McLovin? You were. I remember you were. I'm going to say baseball. Again, I'm going to say pre-war.
Yeah, was he a pre-war baseball player?
Steve, Reich, you
I still scored with that.
gone.
I've never been proud of myself than what I just did there.
I mean, Hiscock was associated with Vince in junior high.
And
McLovin.
it turns out I don't know Hiscock as well as I thought I
Apparently,
did.
you don't know his cock at all.
The athletic hero in question is Scott Longerbone, player or coach?
You love Longerbone.
Am I up?
See, now you up?
McLovin. Scott Longerbone.
Let's go with the coach. Let's go with the coach.
Yes. Did he help forms? Yes, of course.
Pretty good. Pretty good. There you go.
All right, get over here, Longerbone.
Yeah, Longerbone. Okay, and finally, Seton, the athletic hero in question is Johnny Dickshot. Johnny Dickshot, player or coach?
I know this one.
Johnny Dickshot. That was a real person. That was a real MLB player. Dickshot in the hole.
Was it an actual baseball player?
Pretty good. Pretty good. There you go.
Yes, an actual baseball player. So, with that, I must congratulate you, Patrick Seton O'Connor. Tell the difference between junior high coaches and baseball
I
players.
felt like we all won.
Yes, we all did.
For Andrew, who's currently like this, trying to blend into the...
Turn your
Dart
brand.
mouth. Dart mouth. All right, don't go away. We're getting ready for a big weekend for the DP show family. But first, this is the box score. We are taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. The Longerbone, Guts, Glory Ram. Welcome back to the box score. The weekend is upon us now. Where that would normally lead us off to our Danette Football Night in America Challenge, we are down one Todd Fritz, so we will go double strength on that next week. So, with that being said, the bar mitzvah is Saturday. Paulie, you know the list of guests on this gigantic video of his, but you've been sworn to secrecy. Based on the guest, is the video more for Jordan or for Todd?
It's a culmination of Todd's career as a booker, of being able to get a hold of people. He's basically saying to his family and friends, look what I could pull off. At the same time, doing a fantastic gift to his son that he'll remember forever and making a great night. So I'm not going to rip him for it because God bless him, man. I mean, the one thing I will never say about Todd is he doesn't care about his kids and won't go all out for them. He takes care of them like nobody's business.
Now, these things can get pretty extravagant. McLovin, what's the most extravagant bar mitzvah you've ever been to?
I think this will be, from the way he's describing it, 3 rehearsals. I've never heard of 1 rehearsal for a bar mitzvah.
I didn't have a rehearsal for my own wedding. We skipped it. I'm shocked. There's a formalities and presentations.
How'd you know where to stand and stuff at the wedding?
I bet because I've been to about 1,000 weddings. You walk, you stand next to, you see a priest, you stand next to him. When a chick walks up, you give her a kiss. And the next thing you know, I'm drinking.
That is the most Paulie description of a wedding possible right there.
That's pretty easy money. Hey, easy money is that Dan will probably cry at this thing. Seton, do you think that Fritzy's going to be balling also?
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? What kind of question is that? Of course he is. He's going to be a blubbering mess.
Well, he used to be blubbering. Now he will not be a blubbering mess.
Oh, well,
he's not thin.
Yeah, I don't mean like he's like. I didn't say a chubbering mess.
Like, you know, though, the bar mitzvahs, no one has ever, I've never seen a parent cry.
You don't think Todd's going to cry?
He might, but it's bizarre. Because you cry at a wedding.
Yes, we're talking about Todd Fritz, the guy we work with who sits right there every day doing this show.
Yeah, I mean,
he's bizarre personified.
Parents don't cry at bar mitzvahs. It's not like that. It's like not an emotional
Would
event.
he rather have the Broncos lose the Super Bowl in overtime or the audiovisual thing F up and the video doesn't get shown?
Broncos lose.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. He's put so much into this. The amount of views he's taken off of that video, too.
And it's, you know what? I'll tell you, the abuse might just be starting because when that thing gets played, because Dan hasn't seen it and Dan doesn't know. As much as you said, Brock, I know how many people are on the video. I really don't. I know about 3 or 4 people that I know are on the video just because
20 minutes.
Things I've overheard. But I mean, there's like gonna be a lot of people that I wasn't expecting.
Well, how about this, Paulie? Are there going to be a bunch of ESPN personalities there?
You know, I think we talked with Todd about that the other day, and he said no one from ESPN was invited, which, I mean, I'm kind of shocked. He was there a long time, and he'll be back there, 5 years from now. But I mean, no, I guess nobody.
Well, we are down Todd, but does anyone know who is going to be on Monday?
I do. Tony Dungy will be joining the show. Tony Dungy, I'll do Todd style. Former quarterback at Minnesota, was an assistant coach with the Steelers. Author.
Son plays at Oregon.
Then there's some other guy on the show, too.
Sure.
All right, thank you, and Godspeed this weekend, gentlemen. We are back on Monday right here on Audience Channel 239. The podcast, of course, is available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. The video will be available on DP on Monday. Ooh, this is going to be a dinger.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!